Misery is not the master. Do you ever wonder why you feel stuck in pain? Like no matter how far you try to move, it pulls you right back. Let me tell you something. I learned the hard way. Misery doesn't knock on your door unless you've left it unlocked. And once it's in, it doesn't leave unless you show it out. But too many people make room for it. You talk to it, sleep next to it, walk with it like it belongs. Misery becomes familiar, and familiar feels safe even when it's eating you alive. You weren't born with misery. It showed up somewhere. Along the way, when someone told you you weren't enough, when failure made you feel worthless, when life hit you harder than you expected, and instead of pushing it back, you listened. You let it whisper in your head. You let it write your story. But here's the truth. Misery only stays where it's welcome. It has no power until you start believing it's lies. I've seen people spend years stuck in the same place, not because they can't move forward, but because they believe they don't deserve better. That's how misery wins. It doesn't need to break your legs. It just needs to convince you that walking isn't worth it. You need to look at your life right now and ask, who's really in charge here? Is it the pain from your past? The voices that told you you'd fail? Or is it you? This is your life, not pain's life, not fear's life, not doubt's yours. But if you treat it like it doesn't matter, don't be surprised when it falls apart. You don't fix your life by waiting, you fix it by leading. You fix it by taking control, one decision at a time. You stop asking for approval to feel strong. You stop waiting for someone to save you. You stop making excuses for why you can't and start making reasons for why you must. And let me be straight with you. No one is coming. That's not meant to hurt. It's meant to free you. Because if no one's coming, then it's all in your hands now. And that means you can finally start. You want to change. Then change your thoughts. Change your stance. Tell yourself, I am not a house for misery. I am not a servant to pain. I am the one who decides what stays and what goes. This is the fight, not a one-time battle, a daily one. And you win it by saying no more. No more sitting in shadows. No more repeating stories that shrink you. No more living a life that feels borrowed. You're not broken. You're just done letting misery run the show. Start with that truth. The rest will follow. Excellence is not a gift. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but somehow still falling short? I know that feeling. You work hard, stay up late, show up every day, and yet it feels like you're stuck in the same place. Maybe deep down, you're still waiting. Waiting for someone to notice. Waiting for someone to reward your effort. Waiting for life to throw you a break. But let me tell you something that will sting a little. Nobody owes you anything. Not for trying, not for showing up, not even for working hard. Excellence is not a reward. It's a standard, and you either choose to live by it or you don't. You can't fake excellence. You don't become great by accident. You don't trip into it. You build it, brick by brick, choice by choice. Not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. When no one's watching, when no one's cheering. Most people settle for good enough, and that's fine for them. But if you're reading this, I know you want more, then fine. You want to be proud of who you are, proud of the life you're building that doesn't come cheap. You get what you put in. That's the law. If your work is lazy, your results will be weak. If your habits are slumpy, your life will be messy. You want something solid, then be solid. Excellence isn't perfection. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about caring enough to keep improving. Paying attention to the small things. Asking more of yourself when no one else does. Holding yourself to a higher bar, even when nobody's looking. And yes, some days you will fail. That's not a reason to stop. That's a reason to adjust. Learn, get better, come back stronger. Excellence doesn't live in comfort. It lives in the comeback. You think success comes from talent. No, it comes from discipline, from holding yourself accountable, from being honest about your weak spots and doing something about them. So from now on, ask yourself one thing. Is this my best? Not perfect, not flawless, just your best. If it's not, fix it. Raise the bar. Hold the line. That's how you become someone you respect. Nobody is going to hand you excellence. You have to take it, earn it, live it, every day. And if you want to be average, keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to be excellent, then act like it. You are still becoming. Have you ever told yourself, maybe it's too late, like you missed your chance, like life moved on without you, like whatever fire you had, it's gone now. I know that voice. The quiet one in your head that says you're too far behind, too broken, too tired. But that voice is a liar. You are not finished. You are still becoming. Most people think change happens fast, but real growth is slow. It's quiet. It doesn't shout. It shows up in small choices, hard days, and moments where you wanted to give up, but didn't. You say you're stuck. Maybe, but not because you're weak, not because you failed. You're stuck because you're in the middle of change. You're in the part where nothing makes sense yet, where your old self is fading, but your new self hasn't fully arrived. That's why it feels hard. That's why you feel heavy, because transformation is not gentle. It pulls, it stretches, it breaks everything soft in you, so it can build something stronger. You've been here before, maybe in a different shape, but you've felt this before, the weight of becoming. You thought you'd fall apart, but you didn't, and you won't now. Because the part of you that made it through all those old storms, it's still here. You're not behind. You're just not done. You're in progress. And most people quit right here, in the middle, where nothing looks right, where the results don't match the effort, where doubt screams louder than truth. But hear this, nothing you faced is wasted. Not the pain, not the loss, not the confusion. It's all part of your reshaping, all part of the story. You're still writing, so stop telling yourself you're done. You're not. You're in motion, even on the slow days, even when all you're doing is surviving. That's movement. Ask yourself, who am I becoming today? Not next year, not when everything's perfect. Today. Because every choice you make is shaping that answer. You can shape it with fear, or you can shape it with intent. But make no mistake, you are becoming something. The question is, are you becoming what you truly want to be? You're not lost, you're just under construction. Keep going. Your mind is the battlefield. Have you ever caught yourself thinking things you'd never say out loud? Thoughts that make you feel small, weak, or stuck? I'm going to tell you something you might not want to hear. Your biggest enemy isn't out there. It's up here. Your mind is the battlefield. And if you don't take control of it, it will run your life into the ground. You don't lose. When life gets hard, you don't lose when others doubt you. You lose when you start to believe those doubts. When you repeat those same old stories in your head, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, I always fail. That's when the real damage starts. Most of those thoughts, they're not even yours. They were given to you by someone else's fear, someone else's failure, and you took them in, repeated them until they felt like truth. But just because something feels real doesn't mean it is. You need to start asking better questions. Is this thought helping me? Is this thought even mine? Or is it just something I've let in and never kicked out? The mind is a garden. What you plant grows. If you plant doubt, fear, excuses, guess what? That's what your life will look like. But if you start planting discipline, clarity, truth, then your life starts to change. Most people never train their mind. They train their body, their skills, their routines, but their thoughts, they let them run wild. And And wild minds don't build strong lives. You've got to start noticing what you're feeding yourself every day. The people, the content, the words, all of it shapes your inner world. If it's all noise and negativity, you'll start to see yourself through that same lens. Some of you are fighting to change your life, but your mind is pulling you backward. And until you fix that, nothing else will stick. This isn't about motivation. This is about survival. Because when the pressure comes, when things go wrong, your mind will either be your weapon or your weakness. Train it, question it, feed it like it matters, because it does. And the moment you start taking it seriously, you start taking back power, the kind no one can take from you. This is the battlefield, and your thoughts are the soldiers. Choose who you let fight for you. Win here, and the rest will follow. The grind is the gift. Have you ever asked yourself, why is everything so difficult? Like every step forward takes something out of you. I get it. You're tired. You're worn down. Maybe you're thinking, it shouldn't be this hard. But let me tell you what most people never say out loud. It's supposed to be hard. That's what makes it worth it. The grind isn't the problem. The grind is the gift. We've been taught to chase comfort, to avoid struggle, to look for ease. But comfort is where progress goes to die. Comfort is the slow poison. It makes you forget what you're capable of. It teaches you to settle. Growth is not found in the easy days. It's built in the ones that test you. The days when everything in you wants to quit and you still show up. That's where your power comes from. That's where your edge is formed. Everyone wants change, but you want the grind that comes with it. Because the grind doesn't hand out praise. It doesn't offer shortcuts. It demands sacrifice. It demands consistency when results are slow. It asks you to trust the process when there's nothing to show yet. Some days you'll feel invisible. Some days it'll feel like no one cares. But that's not a reason to stop. That's a reason to keep going. Because those are the days that build the foundation. The part no one sees. The part that makes you unshakable later. You don't become strong by avoiding pressure. You become strong by learning to carry it, to stand in it, to grow through it. Pain sharpens. Frustration teaches. Resistance strengthens. If you're feeling the weight, good. That means you're lifting something that matters. This grind, it's not punishment. It's preparation. It's shaping you into someone who can handle what you say you want. So stop waiting for it to get easier. It won't, but you will get stronger. And here's the truth. The world doesn't care how hard it's been for you. It only responds to what you do next. So do the work. Even when you're doubted, even when you're unseen, even when you're tired, because you're not just grinding for the results. You're grinding for the person you'll become through it. This is your unfinished business. So finish it, step by step, day by day. Show up tired, show up quiet, show up messy, but show up. The grind doesn't break you. It shows you who you are.